Welcome back to Adventure Repeat. It's glad to see you here. So what we're going to talk about today is we've had a couple people ask about the chassis, the frame, how the undercoating is, things like that. What does it look like underneath it? So here we're going to cover that today. So be sure to like the video, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what else you want to hear about, and subscribe. We got a lot of great content on the channel and a lot more great content coming, so be sure to stick around. Now this truck does have 1,400 miles on it, and it has been in the winter. So for the undercoating, it's actually a pretty decent job. It is pretty thick, and even still, it's actually kind of soft where it sticks to your fingers. So it's a softer coating than what I think most are used to is the hard painted stuff. So I think this will help last a little bit longer with the frame flex as it moves down the road. I did find a few nicks and scratches in occasional spots, like right here, that it must have been on a lift or on the transport and they just got scratched on the frame. So it's not like it was a big deal. A few places are showing up here or there, but that's just gonna happen because that's corners that get blown away as you're driving down the road. But otherwise it seems to be fairly well undercoated. It's a very heavy duty chassis. Everything does look fairly clean underneath it. It's very simple as well. There's not much going on underneath here. We do have skid plates on this truck underneath the transfer case. It's a chintzy skid plate, but it's better than nothing. We do have the front differential skid plate as well because we have the plow prep package. So a lot of neat stuff. Simple front drive shaft, transmission pan, single one-piece rear drive shaft, so no split shaft like you're used to in the old stuff. Fuel tank is right there, and charcoal canister is right above it. Single exhaust out the back, single muffler. Catalytic converters are further up front. Easy to get to. There's not much going on. It's pretty simple underneath on the chassis itself. Fairly straightforward. It's kind of like working on a truck from 30 years ago where there's not much going on, but it has everything you need and nothing really you don't. Underneath the front side, you can see the inner and outer tie rod. The inner tie rods aren't greasable anymore, which isn't a big deal because it's ball joint style. But your outers are still greasable. Sway bar links are fixed ones. They're not the rubber end boots that are easier to replace. And it kind of wraps up and around. Bump stop is right there. They put it on a strut that goes down. Not a big deal, so it's not as close to the frame, so it's a little bit more controlled. We do have a skid plate up front. This is the cheap plastic one up front here, not a big deal. It's pretty tight packed up here, so not as much room to get to your normal idle arm, pitman arm, grease joints and things like that, but not very often you're supposed to get to anything down here. Pitman arm is definitely going to be a pain in the butt to change if we ever have to do that. Pretty much going to have to dismount the box, move it out of the way and take the nut off, things like that. Plastic cover comes off quick though, so it's not a big deal. So you still have the same access that you used to with all the other stuff. Differentials right there, still easy to get to with most of it. Yeah, pretty simple up underneath the front end. It's kind of the same GM suspension design that they've had for a very long time in 3/4 ton trucks. Now on the passenger side of the frame, you can see where there were a couple nicks that were on the frame just from the factory. Not a big deal, I just touched up with some paint. Nothing too crazy, pretty clean underneath here. You can see the single exhaust and drive shaft coming up. Your torsion bars, just like the same every 3/4 ton I've ever had. And going forward, you can see the H-pipe where it comes across and combines. And your cat exhaust O2 sensor up top, so it's out of the way. Nothing's really hanging down to catch anything, which is the nice thing that they do with GM. They are aware that if you do go off-roading, you don't want to catch things. Power Strokes have fuel filters that hang down a mile. They're just waiting for a rock or a branch to take them off. GM doesn't do that, so it's kind of nice. They put skid plates on a lot of everything, so it works out pretty nice. You do have these brackets right here that you can see on that side. It's basically cover the front end of the gas tank, so if you come off an approach or a hard concrete landing, you're not going to drag your gas tank off. So that's what those are there for. It's pretty odd. You never can understand why they're there from the front end. So that's for approach angle with this large truck frame. So yeah, underneath it's pretty simple, pretty easy to get to. Nothing too complicated going on back here. And from the back side, you got the rear differential right there. You've got the fill plug for the differential fluid, but there is no drain plug. You see the wires that run down the axle because this is electronic park and brake. No cable style to get stuck anymore. Basic standard shocks on this truck, so nothing special, nothing fancy. You still got your bump stops up there. You still got your normal control modules and plugs and everything else like that. This is prep for fifth wheel right here, so it just needs a plug up in the pocket, and that can be added on. GM has put this little safety cable in there for the spare tire so it doesn't fly away if this bracket was ever undone or the cable broke, things like that. So it's a nice little safety feature. Still easy to get to, everything back here, nothing too complicated. The exhaust just kind of comes close to the spare tire like they normally do, but you got the heat shield there. Nice heavy duty suspension, multi-leaf pack on the backside. Still got the overload, so it's a two-stage. If you get the 3500 or the 2500 HD max tow, you get the overloads to make it a three-stage, but we did not need that. So really, it's still the same truck, just without the overload leaves in the back end. If we ever got to that point, we would just put airbags in it and call it a day. But pretty standard, pretty clean. Not much going on back here. And if anybody was ever curious about what is going on behind the front bumper, there's not much. You've got your air duct right there. That's just for diverting air up into the radiator from that lower grill from behind the bumper, but nothing too spectacular, nothing too crazy. Everything's all kind of hidden in there. You got your airbag sensors up in there, but not much going on. Pretty standard, pretty simple. So, short video talking about these trucks. A few people have asked about it, so in case you were wondering what it looks like underneath it, now you know.